What's happening, everybody? Trey here, and today at Reactions to the Classics, I'm going to be doing a full album reaction to Black Sabbath's third record, Master of Reality. I want to shout out our longtime friend and patron and Sabbath fan of the channel, Carl, for requesting this one. And to do today, I have reactions to the Sabbath debut and Paranoid Up that we did the last couple months. And we're going to be doing all the Sabbath records with Ozzy and the coming months as well. So be sure to hit that big red subscribe button so you don't miss out on that. And a big thumbs up always is appreciated as well. But with that said, man, let's get into this record and the quick facts here. As I noted, it was their third record, released in July of '71 on Vertigo Records. It is regarded by some critics as the foundation of doom metal, stoner rock, and sludge metal. Produced by Roger Bain, who also produced the band's previous two records, this album was recorded at Island Studios in London from February to April in 1971. The great Tony Iommi, their guitarist and bassist Geezer Butler, downtuned their instruments during the production, achieving what Iommi called a bigger, heavier sound. Did well on the charts, went to 5 in the UK, 8 here in the States, was negatively received by critics on release, as it seemed a lot of Sabbath's work was back in the time of its release. And the album is now, though, considered one of the great heavy metal records of all time. It was certified double platinum as well. On the tracks Children of the Grave, Lord of This World, and Into the Void, Tony Iommi downtuned his guitar in an effort to reduce string tension, thus making the guitar less painful for him to play. The pain was the result of a factory accident years earlier in which he had the tips of 2 of his fingers severed. The downtuning also helped the guitarist produce what he called a bigger, heavier sound. Geezer also downtuned the bass, saying, quote, "It helped with the sound too." Then it got to the point where we tuned even lower to make it easier vocal-wise, but Ozzy would then sing higher, so it sort of defeated the object. 20 years later, you had groups like Nirvana, Soundgarden, and Smashing Pumpkins would try to kind of imitate that same heavy lung sound. So drummer Bill Ward in 2016 noted, quote, "On the first album, we had 2 days to do everything and not much more time for Paranoid. But now we could take our time and try out different things. We all embraced the opportunity. Tony threw in classical guitar parts. Geezer's bass was virtually doubled in power. I went for bigger bass drums, also experimenting with overdubs. And Ozzy was so much better. But this was the first time when we didn't have gigs booked and could just focus on making the album a landmark." And I think that's always interesting to know too, especially back in the day, man. You had so many of these bands, Led Zeppelin in their early career did this too, where you're coming out with albums so frequently, one, sometimes even 2 in a year. And on top of that, you're doing all these gigs, touring all over. These guys were always out here working. So to be able to actually slow down for a little bit and just focus on the record, I think was, it's going to be, interesting to see how that plays out here today. But I'm sure the lads in Sabbath were happy to be able to just focus all on this. On the first North American editions of the record, several songs had subtitles given to segments, making it appear that there were more songs than there actually were. That also had been done here in North America on the first 2 records from Sabbath. So it's always a little interesting, comparing the UK and US editions. But all music is composed by Sabbath here, except for After Forever, Embryo, and Orchid, which is all just credited to Tony Iommi himself, whereas all the other tracks are to all 4 members. It's time to get after it. As always, I'm going to have the lyrics pulled up to all these tracks. We have 8 songs here today. One is only a little 30-second instrumental, another one only a minute and a half, and then the rest are nice 5-6 minute songs. So really looking forward to this. I know 1 or 2 of these songs, but looking forward to really diving into the rest here in a full album listening experience. And full link will be below to Vimeo as well. If I can't get the full album reaction through here on YouTube, I'll at least have segments up as you're watching on YouTube. But we have that available as well if you want to check out the full, reaction with all the music included and not have to deal with that pesky copyright. But with all that said, it is time, ladies and gentlemen, to start with a little Sweet Leaf All right, Sweet Leaf is considered one of the band's signature songs. It begins with a tape loop of Tony coughing from a joint he was smoking with Ozzy. I mean, Sweet Leaf, you can kind of read between the lines there. The song's subject is marijuana, which the band was using frequently at the time, and it was taken from a packet of Irish cigarettes that read, "It's the Sweet Leaf." This and the record as a whole represents the earliest examples of the music that would influence the emergence of stoner rock in California in the early 90s. A compilation record also titled Sweet Leaf, comprising covers of Sabbath songs by stoner rock bands, was released in 2015, if you want to go check that out. The main guitar riff here paired with a loop of a drum sample from Led Zeppelin's When the Levee Breaks, one of my favorite John Bonham performances, is on that track. It's the instrumental basis of the Beastie Boys song Rhymin' and Stealin'. So I'm not a big Beastie Boys guy, but that's off License to Ill, and I'm gonna have to go back and check that out to see how the Beastie Boys put the guitar part from Sabbath with the drumming of Led Zeppelin. And the Red Hot Chili Peppers also play the riff as an outro to their hit song "Give It Away, Give It Away, Give It Away" now. So with that said, thanks again to Carl for requesting this, and let's get our Master of Reality on. There's the classic cough. Already introduced to that heaviness. Let's go.
Won't you listen? When I first met you, didn't realize I can't forget you for your surprise. You introduced me to my mind and left me wanting you and your kind.
Man, this riff is just so infectious and catchy. Let's go.
I love you. Oh, you know it. My life was empty, or run down, until you took me, showed me around. My life is free now. My life is clear. I love you sweetly, though you get here. Oh yeah.
Bill Ward feeling it now, people. All right. Incredible performance by the great Bill Ward here, man. But what's new?
Come on now. Try it out.
All right, Sweet Leaf. Definitely got to give the hard treatment to that one, man. What a way to start off the record from the coughing of Tony Iommi, man. Hey, man, if you've ever been in a puff puff pass situation, you've probably been there before, right? And then we get into that really infectious riff. Tony Iommi, one of the great riff masters in music history, in my opinion, man. And this is one of Sabbath's best riffs, but. The actual MVP of the song might have been the great Bill Ward behind the drum kit, man, especially in the middle of the track where they let the instrumental go for a couple minutes there. Bill just plays with such power and just crispness in his in his playing, and I think that meshed so well with the rip that was going there. Ozzy was on fire as well, and the lyrical content pretty straightforward, right? Getting introduced to cannabis, he notes, "I can't forget you or your surprise. You introduced me to my mind and left me wanting you and your kind." He notes his love for it. "My life is free now. My life is clear. I love you, Sweet Leaf, though you can't hear." Then he notes that the straight people don't know what you're about. They put you down and shut you out. But you gave me a new belief, and soon the world will love you, Sweet Leaf. And man, here we are 50 plus years later, and here in the States and Texas, man, still illegal. I mean, it's a plant. Come on now. Come on, dude. Like, you're telling me you can sell all this other stuff, or you're telling me alcohol's any better than cannabis? I beg to differ, but hey, that's a topic for another day, I guess. But all that to say, this song right here was exceptional. Definitely going to be amongst my favorites, I presume, once I get there at the end of this record. But we're going to go now to track number 2, After Forever. Lyrics written by Geezer, a proclaimed Catholic, and focused entirely on Christian themes. Although the album jacket credits Tony Iommi alone as the composer of this song, including the lyrics, the Black Sabbath box set refutes this and gives credit to this song, along with Orchid and Embryo, to all 4 band members, in keeping with their wishes to remain a democratic band. That's kind of cool. Geezer noted, quote, "A lot of it was because of the situation in Northern Ireland at the time. There were a lot of religious troubles between the Protestants against the Catholics. I was brought up strictly Catholic, and I guess I was naive in thinking that religion shouldn't be fought over. I always thought that God and Jesus wanted us to love each other. It was just a bad time in Northern Ireland, setting bombs off in England and such. We all believed in Jesus, and yet people were killing each other over it. To me, it was ridiculous. I thought that if God could see us killing each other in his name, he'd be disgusted." A bit more of an upbeat sound than I expected in our opening section here.
Have you ever thought about your soul? Can it be saved? Or perhaps you think that when you are dead, you just stay in your grave. Is God just a thought within your head, or is it part of you? Is Christ just a name that you read in the book when you were in school?
Really enjoying this song as we just hit the halfway point here.
I think it is true, it was people like you that crucified Christ. I think it is sad the opinion you had was the only one voiced. Will you be so sure when your day is this that you don't believe? You had the chance but you turned it down, now you can't retrieve.
It's a bit subtle, but I'm also enjoying Geezer's bass lines on this track. A bit buried in the mix, but impressive.
Perhaps you think before you say God is dead and gone. Open your eyes, just realize that He is the one. The only one who can save you now from all the sin and hate. Oh, will you hear us all you hear? Yes, I think it's too late.
After Forever, what a great track, man. I again thought that it definitely had that heavy type feel. Kind of felt a bit of almost that doom metal stoner rock hybrid as we know it today, right? But here, I mean, the lyrics I think would take a lot of casual people by surprise, right? Obviously, Sabbath back in the day, and even now, get accused of being Satanists, and even in their name, Black Sabbath. Oh my, they must be evil type of deal. Which this refutes that to a T, right? And people a lot of times though don't take the time to actually look at stuff in context and kind of dig deeper, right? And so they just go with what they hear and kind of believe that. But hey, this is a song that could be sung on Sunday mornings, right? I think that'd be cool because it really kind of details out, not in a pushy way, but just in a way that is just honestly asking questions like, from the first lines, have you ever thought about your soul? Can it be saved? Is God just a thought within your head, or is He a part of you? Is Christ just a name that you read in the book when you were in school? And this is under, again, a very infectious riff that Tony Iommi is going. As I noted in the reaction, I thought Geezer Butler, though the bass line wasn't heavy in the mix, it really set a solid foundation here. Iommi had one of his signature great guitar solos as well, and Ozzy was feeling it on the vocals. And so, all in all, you put all that together, you get a really great track in my estimation. It shows that Sabbath can pull off talking about weed in the opener, and then talking here about Christ and Christianity in the other, and they're both great tracks. And as a Christian myself, man, I appreciated this one, and I think it'd be a little cool to introduce this to some Christians today, to be like, hey man, you need to be checking out some Sabbath right here, and just see their reaction, because I thought this song was awesome. So with that said, we're now going to go a little 1-2 punch. Embryo, which is just a 28-second instrumental And then we're going to go after that to a song I do know, Children of the Grave, which lyrically continues the same anti-war themes brought up on War Pigs and Electric Funeral from the last record, Paranoid, is considered one of Sabbath's best songs. Ozzy said, quote, about Children of the Grave, "That's a happy song. My interpretation of that is that in every generation, there's a new revolution. Every generation hates something about the current one." It was our punk song, If You Like. And that closes out the first side of this record. So let's get Embryo and Children of the Grave rocking. Hey, cool instrumental. Wish it was longer. Works perfect into this, man. One of Sabbath's best riffs right here. Just get you so amped up and ready for that drop. That galloping rhythm section right here, man. So great. feedback, little whispers about to come up. The epic "Children of the Grave," one of Sabbath's best tunes, right there. From the intro, where that bass line slowly building, and then all the instruments subtly start coming in. It has that galloping type of sound to it in the rhythm section. It's just so epic, right? And then Ozzy comes in with a fiery vocal performance. Love the lyrics on this as well. Sabbath um, pretty great on their lyrics, man, throughout their first three records right here. And you can pay attention to the great riffs, the awesome solos that again this song had. But don't sleep on these lyrics either. We start revolution in their minds. The children start to march against the world in which they have to live. He notes they're tired of being pushed around and told just what to do. They'll fight the world until they've won, and love comes flowing through. So you get that theme of love wanting to overcome the war of this world, right? And he just notes kind of the next generation, man. Must the world live in the shadow of atomic fear? Can they win the fight for peace, or will they disappear? He notes that if you want a better place to live, spread the word today. Show the world that love is still alive. You must be brave, or you children of today are children of the grave. So I like that, almost a sense of encouraging the youth, because it's like, if you don't do this, you're going to be children of the grave, right? And then that whispered outro with the feedback on the guitar just really kind of sets a bit of eeriness, but in a way that I think highlights the importance of the message that Sabbath was sending. So great track right there. And then we're going to start the B-side with Orchid, instrumental here, 1.5 minutes. Tony Iommi noted, I never played acoustic that much, but I don't even remember where we did that track, to be honest. I think the idea of the album was to have a bit of a light and shade and relax it from the heavier stuff. So let's check out the great Tony Iommi on acoustic. Just a gorgeous melody right here. Orchid, short, sweet, to the point, and again, just highlights that the fact that Tony Iommi is one of the great guitarists in rock history, right? And I do love hearing these softer side to Sabbath here, and Tony pulling out the acoustic, great finger picking right here, and just a gorgeous melody. And yeah, I don't have too much more to add to that, but I'm glad that they included it on the record. As we go now to Lord of This World. Let's check it out. Go from Orchid to right back to the heavy riffs. Just wash over you. And that geezer bass too, just covered in so heavy right here. I think it fits the subject matter of the song to a T.
You think you're innocent, you've nothing to fear. You don't know me, you say, but isn't it clear? You turn to me in all your worldly greed and pride. But will you turn to me when it's your turn to die? Yeah.
Lord of this world, picking up on some of the themes on After Forever. Again, Lord of this world, it's used in the Bible and Scripture, as a way to describe Satan, and that's obviously kind of what we have here as you're reading in the first verse. Can't find the key to fit the lock on your heart. You think you know, but you are never quite sure. Your soul is ill, but you will not find a cure. He notes later on, you must choose evil ways instead of love. You made me master of the world where you exist. The soul I took from you was not even missed, right? So Ozzy kind of speaking from the devil's perspective right there. And amidst this, you have the music to really fit the theme and the mood of the lyrics as well. It's just so heavy. Geezer is in particular just fallen with just slapping that heavy bass down, man. That was one of the heaviest bass lines that you're gonna hear, and one of the heaviest in Sabbath's catalog that I've heard up to this point. And a couple different guitar solos as well, which I'm never gonna complain about Tony Iommi letting it rip on the guitar. And at the end he notes, "You turn to me in all your worldly greed and pride, but will you turn to me when it's your turn to die?" Again, asking that question, like, okay, following the riches and worldly greed and all this stuff. But whenever it's your turn to die, are you gonna keep doing that, or are you gonna turn to God and repent? And so, an interesting song again for Sabbath to bring forth, and just shows the kind of diversity that this record has right here. So I was a fan of this one. Definitely had to give it the heart treatment. As we go now to our penultimate tune, we have Solitude right here. Delay effect was added to Ozzy's vocal on this track to provide the effect of a second vocal. Tony Iommi plays flute and piano on this as well, so let's check it out. Getting a little Planet Caravan vibes on this one.
Sunshine is far away, clouds linger on.
I've never heard Ozzy like this, man. Dipping into his softer, sweeter side.
Everything I possessed, now they are gone. They are gone. They are Oh, where can I go to and what can I do? Nothing can please me, only thoughts are of you. You just left when I begged you to stay. I've not stopped crying since you went away. You went away. You went away. The world is a lonely place. You're on your own. Guess I will go home, sit down alone. Crying and thinking is all that I do. Memories I have remind me of you, of you, of you.
That really pretty sounding flute ending us off here. Solitude, a very unique track again, up to this point in Sabbath's catalog. Just going through chronologically here, and you would have no idea, I think, if you showed this to most people and had them listen to it, they would never guess this was Ozzy on lead vocals right here. Really going onto his softer side on the vocals, and again showing the breadth of topics that Sabbath touch on. Here we touch on loss of love, right? Hence the name Solitude. Our man's down pat here. He says, "My name, it means nothing. My fortune is less. My future is shrouded in dark wilderness." He notes, "Everything I possess now, they are gone. Nothing can please me. Only thoughts are of you. You just laughed when I begged you to stay. I've not stopped crying since you went away." And in the midst of all this, y'all, we of course have that really pretty and soft sounding flute that Tony Iommi is on right there. And, between this and even Orchid with the acoustic that Tony was going, again, just shows what a great multi-instrumentalist that Iommi is. And, just a very somber, melancholic tune right here. And yet there was still a beauty to the music and the arrangement, and even the vocal performance by Ozzy right here. So just for its uniqueness alone, I think this is one that you have to highlight. And man, great track here, great record. And we're gonna go now to the final track right here, Into the Void, another Sabbath tune that I know. I'm not all that familiar with it though, but I know I've heard it. But it has been listed as a favorite song by some of heavy metal's most notable performers, including the great James Hetfield of Metallica, and Eddie Van Halen listed the song's main riff as one of his all-time favorites. Tony Iommi noted, "We tried recording Into the Void in a couple of different studios because Bill Ward just couldn't get it right. Whenever that happened, he would start believing that he wasn't capable of playing the song. He'd say, 'To hell with it, I'm not doing this.' There was one track like that on every album, and Into the Void was the most difficult one on Master of Reality." So we'll listen to this epic, y'all, and then I'll give my favorite songs and overall score and thoughts to this fantastic album at the end. One of those, as soon as you hear it, this is Into the Void. Between this badass riff, the down-tuning of the bass, man, you could just ride this instrumental out the whole time. Let's go. Come on. Putting Bill to work. What a way to end your record off. Into the Void closing off this record in such an epic way, the longest song on this album. And did they save the best for last? Let me know what you think in the comments. I think they very well might have. Starting what, 90 seconds, 2 minutes? I don't even know how long that instrumental was at the start, but you could have just had this be an instrumental and it would have been epic. But then Ozzy comes in again on fire on his vocals, and again touching on some of the themes that we've had in this record, kind of Children of the Grave-esque, but also even back to Paranoid, and just kind of almost that apocalyptic type of feel to it. Rocket engines burning fuel so fast. Up into the night sky they blast. Pollution kills the air, the land, and sea. Man prepares to meet his destiny. Like, you kind of feel this is the end coming, and again that heavy badass riff is just in the background, again aiding to that feel right there. And they put my guy Bill Ward to work on this track for sure, as he delivers, especially in the interlude in the middle. Just a fiery drumming performance right there on all cylinders. And what a great way to end the record off, from musicianship to lyrics to just the just overall arrangement of the song. You're not going to find much better than this right here. So Into the Void, an epic way to end this album off, and a perfect segue to my favorite tracks. Going to be Into the Void. After Forever, I got to give the nod to Sweet Leaf. Just love the way that opened the album off. And I got to go Children of the Grave as well, probably rounding out my favorite tracks. But man, as we go down to the overall thoughts and score of this album, Sabbath has done it again here on their third record. And it's one of those, Sabbath's one of those rare bands where you can look at many of their different records and say this is your favorite. Like, you can tell me any of their first three are the best, and I'd believe you. They're all that quality. I'd still give Paranoid a top billing for me, just because I'm more familiar with that record and have spent more time with it. But man, Master of Reality, what an epic record. I love the wide array of subject matter on here, from everything from drugs and marijuana to Christianity themes and Satan to wartime and heartbreak. Like, Sabbath covers it all here in a crisp 34 minutes as well, and even throwing in cool little acoustic instrumentals from Tony Iommi and Orchid. And I think there's something for everyone, and while still keeping the essence of that heaviness and the great riffs and just overall badassery that Black Sabbath possesses in my mind. So I'm going to be at a really strong 9.25 for me on this record. Easy listen. Great tracks from start to finish. Variety. I mean, what more can you ask for right here, man? So Sabbath has done it again. And let me know your thoughts, your favorites on this record. Is this your favorite of their first three? Let me know that, and be sure to show some love to Carl in the comments as well. And so we'll be back next month with Volume 4. I'm looking forward to that. And like I said, man, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out. And if you'd like to have me or someone here at RTTC react to a record or song for you, or just want to support the channel, man, we much appreciate it. You can check out our Patreon page down below. Got some cool perks for those people as well. Always appreciate that. But I guess, man, that'll cover it for me today. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. And until next time, I will see you.